Hey, also, I wanted to talk about in this Glacier Lab something I think is kind of, I want to say interesting, but if I were being honest, I'd say annoying. And that's like the obsession with, I feel, the Regents exam, focusing on a lot of like minute details about glacial erosion and, landscape features that are formed by glaciers. So you can see here, describe the sediment that we found within a moraine. All of these are glacial features here. You could see Finger Lakes, are formed by glaciers from striations of the ice itself. You could see drumlins here. You could see moraines over here. You could see glacial till, which is basically will form Long Island. So glaciers obviously are very important in the formation of New York State, which is where I teach, and all that stuff. And there's so many features that are important. However, in the context of like an 8th, ninth, 10th grade course, I do think a lot of this stuff is just, in some respects, in one ear and out the other. So it's frankly balancing developing a deeper conceptual understanding of a lot of this content, um, as opposed to like frankly just memorizing details, which is something I really haven't gotten past in the sense of I don't know how to do this better. But like for example, you have to know that this formative process is going to form a kettle lake. And while none of my students have really experienced or seen a kettle lake before, that's something they have to know because the Regents definitely could and probably will ask them about glacial features at some point during the exam. You know, so I think in some respects this lab is not perfectly designed to sort of develop a conceptual understanding, but is designed to, not in the pure test prep sense, but to kind of fill them with a lot of vocab and really get them prepared to say like, okay, what's a moraine? What's till? What's an erratic? What's an outwash plain? All of these kind of new, brand new vocab words that they really don't have context for. So the more images you can use, the better. Previously, we've used something like ice cream to represent glacial movement. Any models you can use would be very helpful, something I'm planning on doing probably more in the future with glacial erosion, because this is just something that's so, I think, archaic and frankly unnecessary, but it is, as long as the curriculum is structured this way, something that you have to necessarily account for. So again, don't ignore those like really seemingly insignificant details beyond like how do you know which way a glacier formed by looking at a drumlin? Those are things that students need to know, so make sure they have that necessary understanding and are completing this lab with full fidelity, to all the questions and types, because all of these things may and could very well be things that they'll see again.